Today, we're diving into a topic that, let's be honest, hits close to home for a lot of us. What happens when you and your partner are on two completely different pages about how to raise the kids? Let's get into it.
This quote just gets right to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? It's not the disagreement itself that's the problem. That's totally normal. The real danger zone is when kids get caught in the middle, feeling like they have to pick a team. That's when things can really start to fall apart. So, what does this actually look like in real life? Let's kick things off with a story that might sound pretty familiar. Okay, so let me introduce you to Rohan. He's 14, and he's basically getting two sets of instructions for life. From his dad, it's all about grades, discipline, and structure. But his mom, she's encouraging him to explore, be creative, and not get so bogged down by pressure. Now, both of them love him to bits, but their parenting styles are worlds apart.
So what's the real lesson Rowan is learning here? Well, it's not about balance. It's actually something much more damaging. He's learning that rules aren't really rules at all. They're negotiable. It all just depends on which parent he talks to. And that doesn't create security. It just creates a whole lot of confusion.
Rohan's situation is super common, and it usually boils down to a clash between two very different fundamental parenting philosophies, or playbooks, if you will. Let's break down what those are.
On one side, we have the authority-based approach. This is all about hierarchy, clear rules, and consistency. And on the other side, you've got the ideology-based approach, which champions individuality, open conversation, and flexibility. Now, let me be super clear. Neither of these is inherently good or bad, but when they're operating under the same roof with no common ground, that's where the trouble starts.
So let's look a little closer at that authority-based style. The number one goal here is stability. The child knows the rules, they know where they stand, and they know the consequences. Consistency is the name of the game, because it's meant to build a world that feels predictable and safe.
And then you flip the coin to the ideology-based style. This creates a really different environment. The focus shifts to the child as an individual. It's about encouraging them to ask why, to have a dialogue, to think for themselves. The goal isn't just blind obedience, it's to nurture an independent mind.
Okay, so you have these two very different styles clashing, but what's the real cost here? I mean, beyond the tense family dinners, what are the hidden day-to-day consequences for a child who's living right in the middle of it?
This is probably the most important question of all. When a child sees their parents operating from two completely different rulebooks, what are they really learning about how the world works? About relationships? About what's right and wrong? And here's where we see the fallout. When the strict parents' rules are constantly being overridden, the child learns to game the system. And when the more flexible parents' approach isn't balanced with some kind of structure, the child doesn't feel free, they just feel like the ground is constantly shifting beneath them. No matter how you slice it, the child is the one who ends up losing out.
First and foremost, they learn how to manipulate. It's simple, really. They figure out they can go rule shopping. If dad says no to something, hey, maybe mom will say yes. They quickly learn how to play one parent against the other to get what they want.
Second, they start to feel deeply insecure. A home that's filled with conflict and rules that change by the day doesn't feel like a safe haven. It feels chaotic. And that lack of a united front can create some very real anxiety for a child.
And maybe the biggest casualty of all is just plain confusion. Their internal moral compass gets completely scrambled. I mean, think about it. If the two most important people in their entire world can't agree on what's right, how on earth is a kid supposed to figure it out?
Okay, so if we know disagreements are inevitable, how do parents deal with them without causing all this damage? Well, the good news is there's a framework for this. The goal isn't to stop disagreeing, it's to learn how to do it in a way that's healthy.
And this right here is the absolute key. It is not about being perfect parents who see eye to eye on every single little thing. Perfection is not the goal. Alignment is the goal. It's about making sure you're presenting a united front, especially when your kids are watching.
So here's the game plan, broken down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, handle your disagreements in private, never in front of the kids. Step 2, sit down and agree on a core set of non-negotiable family rules. Step 3, always, and I mean always, present your decisions as a team. Use the word we. We've decided. And finally, step 4, model respect. Let your kids see that two people can disagree without tearing each other down.
All right, let's bring this all home, because when parents manage to get this right, they're not just preventing problems, they are actively teaching their child one of the most valuable lessons they will ever learn in their entire life.
So I want you to take just a second and really ask yourself this.
Through your actions, through the way you and your partner navigate your differences, what is the deep, fundamental lesson your child is observing from you every single day?
Because here's the ultimate takeaway. Your kids are always watching. They might not remember every single rule you ever made, but they will absolutely remember the emotional temperature of your home. They learn their deepest, most lasting values not from the beliefs you talk about, but from watching how you and your partner handle the messy, complicated, and beautiful reality of just disagreeing.